uplift. But what I don't like is when children...
You don't look oriental or anything, do you?
Well, I just wanted the skin removed. I didn't want to change my face. I just wanted the skin that was hanging.
And apparently you're not allowed to describe someone as looking oriental.
Breaking right now. GB News caught up in another cancellation row as the mainstream media go hard on Eamonn Holmes for a so-called race shocker after he described Kerry Katona as looking oriental after cosmetic surgery. Now, I think this was always the trap. By the way, she does a little bit. Look at those eyes. Love you, Kerry, though. Love you, Kerry. If it's making you happy, then good on you. But yeah, I see what he means. But look, this is the problem with GB News, and this was always going to happen after the cancellation of Lawrence Fox and myself. You remember Lawrence Fox came on air, said he didn't want to shag a woman called Ava Santina. We were after the watershed. I slightly giggled. All hell broke loose because I wouldn't give some type of dressing down apology to Lawrence live on air. And I always knew that this was going to happen, where GB News, the so-called free speech channel, tried to start forcing its presenters into humiliating on-air apologies. And that's exactly what happened today. And it was awkward because what became quite clear is that Eamonn Holmes did not either want to apologise and did not believe he had to apologise. So I'm going to show you what Eamonn Holmes said in this conversation with Kerry Katona, then watch the botched apology, clearly forced upon him.
An uplift, but what I don't like is when children...
You don't look oriental or anything, do you?
Well, I just wanted the skin removed. I didn't want to change my face. I just wanted the skin that was hanging.
And apparently you're not allowed to describe someone as looking oriental, or I don't know how I would then describe Kerry Katona if her eyes change shape. I don't know how I'm going to say, does she look like someone from some other country in the eastern of the world? The world is ridiculous. How you have to apologise for people. I mean, if she painted herself, I don't get into this. But anyway,
but Kerry looks beautiful.
Kerry looks well, and I'm sorry if you don't look well and we've offended you in any way, or well, I don't know.
Anyway, do stay with us.
7:32.
Oh my God. That is astonishing because there are so many parallels between what happened with Lawrence and I. Do you see what Ellie Costello, who is the co-presenter, did? She was trying to sort of just move on from this, and she did exactly what I did. She described Kerry Katona as beautiful. That's what I said about Ava Santina, the woman Lawrence Fox didn't want to shag. And the off-communists decided that it was a misogynistic comment. Well, are they going to say that Ellie Costello was making a misogynistic comment? And Lani Dowdeen posted on this, why is everyone so offended by everything? Racial slur? My mum used to say Oriental all the time, referring to herself. She prefers it to Asian, which included the whole continent. Differentiating Chinese, Thai, Filipinos, etc. from Indian, Pakistani and Bangladeshi Asians. The offence started in the US and has come here. It's boring. I referred to myself as half Oriental many times, as well as half Filipino if I want to be specific. Don't forget, many have surgery to make themselves look Western, so why can't we talk about some surgery making Westerners' eyes slant more? Are we going to pretend people like my mother don't have eyes that slant? I even have very pronounced folds. Can you believe that more than half of you are watching this video but not subscribed? So please do me a huge favor, click the subscribe button now, turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to all of our brand new Outspoken videos. To my superstar panel, Kezia Noble and the aforementioned Lani Dowdeen. Lani, this is extraordinary on so many levels. I mean, I do want to speak to you about the comment because, of course, you have these personal feelings given your background. But first, can we just talk about this from the perspective of GB News? Because isn't this the risk when you go down this woke path and you keep trying to force your presenters into apologies that they don't believe? That was actually an incredibly uncomfortable piece of television because he didn't want to apologize.
Yeah, it was extremely awkward, and you can see it. And actually, I don't think he had any reason to apologise. He didn't want to. He was kind of being held hostage, and you can see it. And I'm glad actually it came across that way, because it's getting absolutely ridiculous now. And the crazy thing is it's even more parallel to yours, because I think he actually said, "You don't look Oriental." It was, I don't know if he was being sarcastic, or the headlines in the Daily Mail said he made a racial slur calling her Oriental, but actually I heard him say, "Well, you don't look Oriental." And so to me, they're saying that you can't use the word Oriental, which, because that's offensive. And I don't know which bit's meant to be an offensive term, actually, because I'm half Oriental. My mum used the term. Obviously, I'm half Filipino. That's a terrible picture of her that's shown up. And I think he was trying to say that now it's healed a little bit. She doesn't look like her eyes are particularly slanted. But you can see here, I've got these Asian Oriental epicanthal folds. And what? So we're going to pretend that, people from that region, their eyes don't slant. It's all ridiculous. And I can guarantee you that anyone offended would not be Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Thai, Filipino. Guarantee it. I would put money on it. The only offended people are going to be some middle class white person.
Yeah,
liberal.
I just, Lilani, I mean, has Oriental ever been used as a derogatory term? Because I think it's like something that's quite like, mysterious and glamorous.
Exotic?
And yeah, exactly. It's almost positive. I don't understand how describing something as Oriental is considered inappropriate, but I know that sometimes these rules change.
Well, my mum has always used Oriental to describe herself. If I've ever said Asian, I'll go back. My mum has always used Oriental. I went to Los Angeles, where I heard a couple of Chinese people say, "Oh, we're not Oriental. That's a rug." They were offended, but it's woke LA. So of course, then I go back to my mum and I said, "Well, the people I met in LA say it's really offensive. They like the word Asian." And she's like, "But that's usually used to describe more Southern Asian, like India or Pakistan." So she was never offended. She used the term all the time. I, as a half Filipina, half Oriental, am not offended. And I don't think talking about the shape of somebody's eyes based on their lineage is also, I don't find that offensive either. I mean, we've discussed it so many times, like who's got eyes most like mum? My sister and I say it all the time. So again, it's not going to be us that's offended by it. It will be some, minging liberal just raging at something.
But first, the number one worst fruit for your waistline. Look, are you turning healthy fruits into highly unhealthy fruits without even realizing it? Fruit can be one of the healthiest things you can put into your body, but the majority of Americans are guilty of making this single mistake that can counteract all of the health benefits of fruit. Some fruits can help with occasional constipation, reduce bloating, and even help burn calories. Others can wreak havoc on your digestive system and energy levels. Now, I came across this viral presentation from world-renowned heart surgeon Dr. Stephen Gundry that showcases the 3 fruits to stop eating today. It was shocking. I had no idea. And after finding it out, I've stopped eating these 2. I'm going to put a link for you all to watch it because I want you all to gain this information. I think it's truly important, actually. You can go watch it right now at thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. That's thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. I've also linked it in the description box below this video too, or if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, you can just click on the QR code on screen or hold up your phone, to the QR code, you know how it works. Oh, and by the way, eliminating these fruits could forever change the way we help increase energy levels, decrease brain fog, support digestion, and even lose weight. So make sure to click on the link below or go to thehealthyfat.com patreon.com/outspoken to find out now. Dr. Gundry has lost 70 pounds himself using his research and has kept the weight off for over 20 years and counting. His digestive issues are gone. His health is fantastic. He feels younger today than he did in his 40s. His video has been watched by over 20 million people to date. You can watch and learn more about it at thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. Just click on the link in the description box below this video. But now, back to the show. I know, and obviously, GB News has now turned this into a bigger story for forcing Eamonn Holmes to apologise. And Kezia and Hope, what's really interesting for me is one of the reasons why I refused to deliver some type of, ludicrous, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Lawrence Fox, you're a terrible person. I didn't want to do that because I thought that it would also just bring a lot of attention to something unnecessarily, which is why in my case, I did exactly what Ellie Costello did, because you just think, oh God, let's just move on from this. Oh, Kerry Katona is really beautiful. Oh, Ava Santina is really beautiful. But Kezia, does this not show the limitations of GB News as a free speech channel because they live in constant fear of the off-communists?
So remember I said at the beginning of the show, there's this poison and it's called the 2-tier poison and it infects everything. So why are you being treated differently to this lady? Show me one difference. What does she do? And what did you do differently? Because,
Nothing. Nothing.
There you go. I don't want to say too much about GB News, but I'm finding it now that everything's getting a little bit vanilla on there. I used to watch it and love the characters on there. I loved you. I loved Lawrence Fox on there. I loved I've forgotten his name.
Mark Stein.
The priest.
Father Calvin Robinson.
Brilliant. I used to tune in and they always had these different kind of, Lalani used to be on it and they had all these like different voices on the panels. I just watched it a few times. I said, it seems to be like there's a rotation of about 6 people that are on there all the time now. As 6 panelists. I'm not talking about the presenters so much. And I've kind of been like, this is all just getting a bit vanilla. Like I want to see the characters. I want to see those outspoken people. I want to see the mistakes. I want to see the goofs. I want to see someone make a mistake, and that's human being.
I think Lalani, it has moved to the mainstream, hasn't it? Now it's very much ITV daytime style.
That's what they want. I think it's not quite happened, but that's what they want. That's their goal. But it's taking out the vibrancy and that fun and that. Just those interesting characters. I used to always think, oh, who they're going to have on next. And now it's like, oh, it's that person again. Okay. So, yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Lalani, do you agree?
Yeah, and I think watching them keep on wheeling out the real lefties like Femi and Matthew Stadling is getting really tedious as well. Sitting, through them speaking nonsense to give balance because they have to give their balance. And this is like the stupid thing about it. No one actually believes what they're saying or believes what those people are saying, but they're wheeled on there to appease Ofcom. That's all they've done the entire time. They think if we just feed Ofcom their little tidbits, they'll back off from us. It first happened with Mark Stein, and Mark Stein was brilliant. He was one of the most viewed presenters on there, and then it fed into your show, and it was just great for the evening, and people really wanted to tune in and see what was going from a different perspective, from a thinker's perspective, from somebody that's able to think critically. Now it may as well be Sky News or Talk TV or the BBC, because it's all just everyone trying to be careful about what they're saying. No one can speak freely. Everyone's walking on ice. So are the off communists going to come after us? So it's really changed, and it's really sad.
Yeah, no, it really has. But I would say good on Eamonn for not giving a grovelling apology. I think that was the right decision. And he's not scared, which is good. And, you know, good on Ali Costello for describing Kerry Katona as beautiful. But let's just see if there's two-tier treatment here. And I have a feeling there will be. But what a fabulous superstar panel. I always love having Leilani Dowding here and making her debut, Kezia Noble. Now, Kezia, what is your website address and where can we watch your show UK Now on Q News?
So UK Now on Q News, you can find it on YouTube, and you can find it on my X account, Kezia_Noble, and my website is kezia-noble.com.
Amazing. Well, please come back. I've loved having you. And Leilani, hope to see you very, very soon. Thank you both so much. Okay, we're going to reveal today's Greatest Britain and Union Jackass in just one moment. Loads of super chats coming in from you, though. So thank you for that. And thank you so much, too, for Marshall Margison, who has joined Outspoken Plus over the course of the show. So let me get to your super chats first. Philip Shepherd says, I feel we are fighting a battle in this country against this Labour government, but the light always prevails. My God, I hope you're right, Philip. Private Jose B32 says, GoFundMe for Lucy so she can sue the government. Go on, girl. And I will tell you, the GoFundMe that Alison Pearson and myself set up is still live. Steve Forrest says, only reason she's out so she isn't a call to arms. That is an interesting take. Jason Tripp has a proposal. Get Lucy on stage on the 13th so she can hear over 500,000 show their support and chant her name. And lest we forget, Peter Lynch, R.I.P. Absolutely. Alex Marmon writes, to have an idea what losing a child is like for a mother, I suggest that people watch a podcast with Perry Edwards of Little Mix openly breaking down about her 2 miscarriages. You don't get over it. And Alex is, of course, referring to the fact that Lucy Connolly had lost a child, and that's why she was so devastated on the day of the Southport massacre. And endthedrugwartoday.com says, Dan, I fell in love with the 2 women from earlier, referring to Leilani and Kezia. I missed the whole segment basking in their glory. Thanks. I needed it. Yes, they were great, weren't they? Absolutely brilliant. So good to have them. Okay. The results are in, but a reminder of your Union Jackass nominees for today. Dan Jarvis, nominated by Sarah Booth for looking an absolute glibbering idiot while unable to answer questions from Emma Barnett about where the illegals from Epping will go. Angela Rayner, nominated by Lutmans for sucking up to Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister, and Zia Yusuf, nominated by Darren Donaldson for spreading lies about Robert Jenrick. And in third place with 6% of the vote, Dan Jarvis. The runner-up with 20% of the vote, Zia Yusuf. But whoa, a whopping, overwhelming winner, Angela Rayner with 74% of the vote is your Union Jackass. So straight after the show, I'm going to put up the major poll to find out who is the worst Briton in the world this week. I'm fascinated because I think this is going to be super close. Maybe I'm wrong, but let me just remind you of the nominees. On Monday, it was Ricky Jones, the Labour councillor who was found not guilty despite wanting to slit all the throats. You know who I mean. On Tuesday, it was Benjamin Butterworth. I actually can't remember what for. What had he done? I think he'd said something ludicrous in regard. Oh, no, I know what it was. He said that if you were taking down the if you were raising the colours, if you were putting up the flags, then it meant you were a jobless loser. He was Tuesday. Wednesday, Rachel from Accounts. Rachel Thieves for just destroying the economy. Thursday, Angela Rayner, the Deputy Prime Minister. I think this could be a really interesting race, actually. So I'm going to put that up on my YouTube in just a couple of minutes in the YouTube or post section, and you can vote there. But today's Greatest Britain is, of course, Lucy Connolly, nominated by Kat Gibbs 4, who says, let's make the 21st of August the Lucy Connolly Day. And it absolutely will be here on Outspoken. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.